Today I want to show you the use of a Medusa 2 on a MacBook Pro, one of the very recent models. It's not quite the touch bar model, but the one they call the F key model, because it still has the function keys instead of the touch bar, but for the rest it's pretty much the same. The use of the Medusa is extremely simple. It is a small module. It plugs into USB for power. The other end of the USB cable is just attached to a normal USB charger. If we plug it in, it wakes up. At the other end of the cable we plug the appropriate adapter, in this case the red one. And we flip the Mac over. I already took the cover off beforehand. And here is the little port that the cable plugs into. We have to use a little insulating tray to make sure we don't short circuit anything. And this plugs into the port here. And that's basically all there is to using it. The Medusa should now start showing information from the Mac, which it is. Let me zoom the camera in so you can actually see what it is saying. This is the version of the ROM chip it sees inside the Mac. Some internal parameter. The serial number of the Mac is shown. The production date of the Mac is shown. The override version, which doesn't apply to this particular model. It shows that the machine is not locked. The current firmware version installed. And the version of the management engine software. Status of the ROM chip. And that was it. Another function of the Medusa 2 is that it can read the ROM from the Mac and copy it into its internal ROM. Then the internal ROM is easy to read it into your normal programmer. To read the ROM, we flip one switch. It tells us what it's going to do. It sees the ROM chip in the Mac, tells us all about it. Now it's preparing the ROM in the Medusa to receive the data from the MacBook ROM. In fact, it's just erasing it. We'll fast forward a little bit so you don't get too bored. And as you can see now, it's actually copying the data. It reads it in a special way so that the Mac interfering with reading the data, as anybody knows who has tried to do this with a regular programmer, it works around that so that it actually does read without problems. Basically, no matter what happens, even if we disconnect the connector, let me try here. You see it just stops, and if we plug it back in, it should continue where it left off. And so it knows very well that the Mac is not visible. Oh, there it goes. You see, if I plug it back in, it continues reading. There's also an option built in to verify the two ROMs together. Let me show you that as well. Oh. This is verify mode. Now it's going to compare the ROM in the Mac with the with the data that it copied before into the Medusa. As we just wrote it, the two should be the same, of course. Meanwhile, let me show you that there's no extra cables or complicated probe points involved. It's just a little adapter board that is plugged into the Mac, and that's all. The Mac itself, in this case, is plugged into the power adapter, which is not strictly necessary. The battery is connected, and yeah, basically it just has its cover taken off. So as you see, it's just plugged in, and that's all there is to it.